866-578-1007. 800-348-1007. 35192, you want to text. If you watch the show and you see me look visibly bummed out, like visibly bummed out, how did I not know that the English Beat was playing a show tonight? They're playing the Kent stage.
Oh, really?
I love English Beat. Dave Wakeling has got an amazing voice.
Go see him.
I'm not going to haul ass to Kent tonight. Tonight.
Go do it.
No, but I like these guys a lot. He also fronted a band called General Public that had a lot of kind of soundtrack songs in the 80s, but I'm clicking through. I just don't know how I missed it. I'm clicking through, and because I have no concept of time and I don't know what day it is, I see, ooh, English Beat is going to be in town on April 6th. What day is today? And then I check my phone. Oh, that's today. Today's April 6th. No, I'm not going to haul ass at the Kent stage for a show tonight. I just don't know how it slipped past me. I really try to keep my ear to the ground, because that would have been a show I'd go to on a school night.
Still can.
I know, but I'm just not going to do it. It's to call a last-minute audible like that. Because when I get home, I'm on dad duty. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so I can't go, honey, okay, I'll see you later on tonight.
You could do that.
I could. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that.
You should.
Should I really?
You should keep Gwen on her toes.
She's always on her toes. That's the problem. She's always on her toes. When I get home, I try to make sure she can get off her toes for a minute.
Well, then,
trying to be a cool guy.
Of those days, but then, also your kid misses you a little bit more.
Yes.
She'll appreciate a little time away, because absence makes the heart
I try to tell her that all the time. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. My daughter is 6, and I try to make her feel. I try to keep her on her toes too. I try to always sprinkle our conversations with little bits of existential doubt. I'll be in the middle of reading her a bedtime story, and I'll look over and I'll go, Grandpa never read stories to me. And then I'll go back to reading about Little Miss Loudmouth or whatever, But anyway, if you're going to that...
one day, I'll say the last thing I ever say to you. Anyway, the pig...
Anywho. Yep.
This little piggy.
Anyway, if you are an English Beat fan, overseas they're known as The Beat. But over here they had to be the English Beat. They are playing at Kent Stage tonight, so...
I really only
hopefully
know
my
that
loss
song.
should be. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't know "Save It for Later" or?
Oh, I do know "Save It."
You know "Save It for Later." That's a great song, and he had
a little bit
tracks with General Public. Tenderness. It was like in weird song. All those '80s movies had one of these songs. Save it for later. He just had a cool voice, man.
Yeah. Have you heard that cover of, what is it, Tom's Diner? It's a couple years old, but it's been going viral because of TikTok or something. And this dude's got such an interesting voice.
Who does it?
It's like, I can't even remember the name. It's a weird name. It's like Anna something.
Anna Mae Cantarrot and Giant Rooks?
Yes.
I have not heard that, no. I already hate it.
Just give it a second.
All right.
So the first guy that sings is the Collaborator, and then the anime guy sings. German band, I believe.
I don't hate that.
I am sitting in the morning at the diner on the corner.
No, I hate that.
Wait. You gotta get to the next guy.
Don't tell me anything that did anything for you.
I am waiting at the counter for the man to pour the coffee. And he feels it only halfway.
Oh my God, I like that guy a lot.
That's the guy. Like the first one, you're like, ew, I don't like this whiny guy.
No,
and then this
learn how to
other guy
sing, you
comes
dope.
in with this like Louis Armstrong on steroids voice that's just the best.
Is Alan May Canterett a guy? Is that the guy?
That's the band, I believe.
Oh, I see.
But I think that guy with that crazy voice is the lead singer.
This is from June of 2019 is when it was posted.
But it's been passed around on social media a bunch lately, and I think it's like a TikTok trend now. And man, when he comes in with that voice, I'm just like
the Tom's
I get
Diner
chills.
Challenge.
Yeah.
And before I even argue, he's looking out the window at somebody coming in.
Yeah, that's great.
Like if I could have that, like if I could sing, that's the voice that I would want.
You wouldn't be able to keep a job because you'd be getting laid all the time.
Why?
That voice?
Yeah.
That's why you make it. Yeah. You make that voice your job.
Right. That's great.
When because like the first guy singing, you're like, oh, what's this whiny little thing? And then that juxtaposition on the difference in their voice makes his stand out even more. And they got a bunch of other like originals, a bunch of other covers, but that one's the one that's going around right now.
And I also wonder, Suzanne Vega did the original version of Tom's Diner, and it did nothing because she was such a granola folk artist that the original song was a cappella. So it was just her singing, and you're like, okay, this is fine. I mean, it was on one of her albums. But then this band called DNA, these dudes who were like, the most famous version of that song
Is the DNA version. These two dudes who remixed that song, put that beat that was under everything in the early 90s. DNA stands for Do Not Acapella.
That's right. So that's the most famous version, and then it just exploded. Suzanne Vega had a couple of hits. She had that song called Luca, and but when DNA remixed Tom's Diner, that's when it really blew up. But
Let's get
good
another
song.
moment right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy because they released this in 2019, and it's 3 years later, and now it's getting a ton of attention.
Man, good for them.
Yeah. That guy's got a crazy good voice. Crazy original voice.
Now, another guy who remixed it was a guy named Giorgio Moroder, who I think has passed away now, but he was a big composer. He did a lot of film scores in the 70s and 80s. He was like a big deal. He did Tom's Diner with Britney Spears. Have you ever heard Tom's Diner with Britney Spears?
No. This is real? She really recorded this?
This is from 2015.
I've never heard this in my life.
Can't say that anymore.
I don't hate it.
No, it's not that bad. I mean, there's not a lot of heavy lifting for her. She always got to do that stupid baby voice.
Yeah.
I like a good
Sounds like she's congested.
or like bump bump bums. I always like a good bump bump
Bum, bum, bum.
Like Satellite of Love by Lou Reed. Those bum bum bum, like the real light one. Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah? You like a light bum?
A light bum, yeah.
I like a heavy bum.
You like a heavy
I like
bum?
serious cakes, boy.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, I like to get my hands
Well, I mean,
around them.
I'm talking about the
Oh, you're talking
expression of bum through the mouth.
What's a flex is a lot of Rihanna songs are literally her singing like the bass line. It's really kind of dope. Like if you listen to Where Have You Been, her early stuff like the Pond Replay or SOS, all of those are her like la 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 la. Oh, all of those are her singing those.
So she does like multi tracks and
Yeah, it's
does all the
dope. Like
different parts.
she overlays her voice
Yeah.
and makes something like that.
Giorgio Moroder is still alive, by the way. I thought is another person I prematurely killed. He is still alive. I thought he died. I thought that they did some Grammy thing for him a couple of years ago, but he is still alive. But he got real big in the 80s. He did like this really kind of sultry music for American Gigolo, going back to that movie. And he did a lot of things along the way. But also devotion to accuracy and nerd alert for... Nerd alert! Nerd alert! When we were talking about Great Lakes Avengers as a goof, that was a thing.
That was a thing. Okay.
Stripper Scott got me hip to Great Lakes Avengers. It was kind of an offshoot of the West Coast Avengers that I mentioned, but I guess Squirrel Girl was part of Great Lakes Avengers.
She's very powerful.
God, what a bummer that Milana Vaintrub was supposed to play
her,
Squirrel
yeah.
Girl, and she's so foxy. And then they like 86 that show. But yeah, West Coast Avengers was, because Stripper Scott told me the whole thing. Dinosaur, Mr. Immortal, Big Bertha, and Squirrel Girl. All right, so Great Lakes Avengers was a thing. All right. Well, there you go. I don't remember that, but I will take Stripper Scott's word for it.
Nerd alert! Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
Yeah. The Cavaliers, did they lose last night?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, the Cavaliers lost last night, 115 to 112 against the Magic.
Yeah, another close
The 21 and 59, they gave the Magic their 21st win.
Yeah, it was rough go of it. I mean, the injuries are what's killing the Cavs. When you got Jared Allen and Evan Mobley both out, those are two of the top three players on your team. So it makes things tough.
Worst loss of the season is how Cleveland.com put it.
Yeah.
120 to 115 against the Orlando Magic. Boy, they must have just been high-fiving in that Magic locker room.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, my God. Guys, we won.
They played tough.
Cavs play the Nets on Friday night, 7:30 in Brooklyn, and then they're back here. Last game of the regular season is 3:30 Sunday afternoon against the Milwaukee Buckaroos. The Lakers of LeBron James, California, have been eliminated from the postseason. And Brian Windhurst was a guy who I think used to locally cover the Cavs and LeBron, and then he got a gig when LeBron left. I think he went to work for ESPN.
Yeah.
But he always would do like these forensic dives on LeBron James. And he had a pretty wild... Did you read his take on LeBron a couple days ago?
No.
He said LeBron basically gets 4 years per city. He said he just wears his team out in about 4 years. He called it organizational fatigue. He said it happened the first time in Cleveland. They ran out of draft picks. They had a bunch of guys in their mid-30s. They had Shaq, who was almost done. They had Anton Jameson. He goes to Miami. He gets 4 years. Has a pretty good run. They run out of draft picks. And then he goes back to Cleveland. He gets another 4 years. Great run. They run out of draft picks. They got old guys. He goes, and now here we are in L.A. in the fourth year. The oldest team in NBA history. They're out of draft picks. They're exhausted. Well, and that's just kind of, He
doesn't want anybody to develop. He wants players that have already proven themselves in the league. And what happens is you end up with a team like the Lakers where everybody's old and you don't have any young, like, up-and-comers. Like, you got people with nothing left in the gas tank, especially at the end of the season. And if you look at all the players that LeBron could have played with if he would stop trading everybody on his team to try and bring in a guy like Russell Westbrook or Anthony Davis, who are good. I mean, Westbrook's past his prime. Anthony Davis just can't stay healthy. But then you trade all these guys that, when they all play together, you could have a decent team.
Right.
But instead, you got these stars that you got to pay so much money, and then you got to just throw a bunch of other guys in there that have no, they wouldn't even probably make it on another roster in the NBA.
It's not a good return on investment. Katie is in Columbus. She said, I interviewed a candidate and saw that he's from Dayton and works at Lowe's. I also saw that he's retired, and it made me think, what if I'm interviewing Dick from Dayton? She said it definitely wasn't him, since I was able to end the call within an acceptable time frame. Thanks for the show. It keeps me going on certain days here in Columbus. That's Katie, one of our bureau chiefs down there. Imagine if she would. Days, huh? Imagine if. Listen, I'll take what I can get. Imagine though if she was interviewing someone. Poundcake's morning job is he calls and talks to people. You're not a recruiter, right? People hit you guys up and then you follow up with them.
Oh no, that we were.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
I would say they send in their resumes and then I take it from there.
That's what I mean. They approach you guys and then you follow up with them.
Yeah.
Like you don't cold call people and go, hey, would you like to work for us? So I assume that's what Katie's doing too as a recruiter, following up with people. But imagine if she had a guy on the phone and it turned out to be Dick. Because here's a guy who retired after a quarter century at Lowe's as of last year, right? December 31 was his last day. So he's been retired now for a number of months. And to hear him tell it when he calls us, to hear him tell that he's never been happier because he gets a lot more time. He's at whatever age he is. Like, he's my mom's age, right? 75, whatever. He's living that gig life. He's gigging, Bill.
Lots of gigs.
That's what the musicians call it. He's doing a lot of gigs.
A lot of gigs, a lot of practices.
Yep.
A lot of rehearsals. And then you also got to balance that sex life because you get all them ladies out there that love to watch someone that's good with their fingers.
But he's got a lady.
Yeah, but
he's got a lady who's older than he is.
I really want more details on that whole situation. And he will not give them up.
I try to press him every time, and
he just changes the subject.
Well, that's the genius of Dick, though, is he never really changes the subject because there's never a subject. He's not listening to what I'm saying.
Right.
So he really is reluctant to discuss this, I hesitate to say alleged girlfriend. I'll take him at his word.
He's also very excited to see Mary at the comedy club in Dayton.
Yes.
To the point where he said, it's going to be the best day of my life.
She's doing Dickies in Dayton, or what's it called?
Wiley's.
Wiley's in Dayton, end of the month, I think. And he's made it very clear that he's going to come out as gay at the show. And so, yeah, he did, last time we talked to him, he did refer to it as, it will be, he plans on it being the greatest day of his life.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we can say ha, 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 but what if he's right? At what point?
Great. That's absolutely great. But it's also, I don't know, if he knows what he's walking into.
At what point in your life would you want to have the greatest day you're going to have? You don't know it. You only know it in hindsight.
Yeah.
If you're in your mid-70s and you go, I mean, up to that point, up to any given point, you could say, that day was the greatest day of my life. It's been all downhill from there.
It's even hard to say, like, one day has been the greatest in my life. So
because you have to say, like, birth of my children or whatever. But you don't know what, you know what I mean? You don't know what it is.
You don't have to say that.
You don't have to say that. A lot of people do, though.
Yeah. But there's a lot of things that qualify for that. But I think for him, I mean, he's got no kids. He loves radio. So for him, seeing a female comedian tell jokes could be the best day of his life. Because he does like women, too. So this could be the best. You'd think it'd be something sports related, considering he's always talking to us about Browns and Guardians and Cavs and stuff. But perhaps this will actually be the best day of his life.
Does she have...
I think it being towards the end of your life is probably good, but you also are probably just forgetting a lot of things.
Does she have any sports material? Because if she can throw in a sports bit, he will go crazy. He will cover that table in himself.
I don't think so. I think she's got some gambling stuff, but
some people consider that a sport.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see how he reacts.
He will bust if she works in.
And then when I got a big load, I go put it in there.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to go crazy. I guess we'll wait and see. Yeah, because most people, when pressed, will say they will default to the day I got married, the birth of my children. Because you can't go, when I got that stripper that I didn't ever think I'd get, that was the greatest day of my life. Like, you could say that. Most people wouldn't. I'd been pining for this hot piece of ass, and one day, out of nowhere, she looked my way, and the stars aligned, and it happened.
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to go, that was the greatest day of my life.
A one-night stand was the greatest day of my life. Like, that's...
It was the greatest 4 hours of my life. Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed, I guess, to drill down on that. Poundcake, are you going to watch they announced that the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial is going to be on Court TV. Are you going to watch that?
No, because that bitch is lying.
Isn't that why you want to watch it?
By the way, not based on the evidence. It doesn't seem that she is. Johnny Depp seems to be a guy with some issues, some anger issues.
Trying to cancel
they
him.
both do, though.
This is a $50 million libel suit.
Man,
because
it's so messy.
In an op-ed, she said, this case has been going on for a while, but she discussed being a public survivor of abuse. Didn't mention him.
For once, it's not Marilyn Manson. He's like, didn't didn't get hurt.
No, he's on the come up. He's just won a
Grammy.
Grammy the other
with
day.
Kanye. Yeah. So it's going to be on court TV. They're expecting James Franco and Elon Musk to show up as witnesses because she dated him for a little while.
Which one? Elon Musk or James Franco?
She dated Elon Musk.
Wow.
I think post Johnny Depp.
You are in a different league at that point. You're dating a
Yeah, I'm sure it's
billionaire.
real fun to date Elon Musk, by the way. He's just staring at you like you have a nipple in your forehead.
Why? Why would he do that?
Because he doesn't have, like, I don't know if he's autistic or whatever it is. I mean, he has referred to himself as on the spectrum. I don't know what that means. Some people seem to use that as a great catch-all for, like,
still,
I'm not interested in whatever people say. But
he has exotic women from all over the world, and he's dating you.
exotic
richest-
women? He knocked Grimes up twice. They don't get less exotic than her.
Okay, I'm just saying he can have his pick of any. in
Well,
the world.
Amber Heard is crazy hot.
I'm not saying she's ugly.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you're in a different league. Like, you wouldn't even consider someone who doesn't make $10 million a year. Like, that's chump shit. Like, I'm not dating you. I'm an expensive woman. Like, I dated Elon Musk. I dated Johnny Depp.
But that's also when you have your own money.
I'm in a different tier.
But you also have your own money. So you don't have to, like, I don't, obviously I don't know what her net worth is, but she's a wealthy actress,
Okay.
right? So everyone, when you're in that financial strata, you're just dealing with the same people, kind of. You're not dating a guy who works for the public works department. That's why they make such a big deal out of celebrities who marry regular people. Like Julia Roberts famously married a cameraman, right? Who was technically in the movie business.
Yeah, but
So Danny Motor's like a cameraman.
Yeah.
She met him. She started dating the guy who was filming her for a movie. And they've been married like 25 years.
that'd be great. Imagine Julia Roberts.
You're
It was
on
just-
set,
Yeah.
and Julia Roberts looks your way and goes, I like, and he's a
It looks
good-looking dude.
past the camera
Right.
to you.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah.
She's so gorgeous, too.
Julia Roberts?
Yeah, I love her.
She has aged very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's aged very well, but just going back, having seen the Pretty Woman musical, I had it on, and it just, man, she was just drop dead gorgeous.
Boy, you really dug into that Pretty Woman musical.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the musical, and then I went to a bar afterwards, and I was like, you guys have Hulu? And they did, so it's like, can you throw on Pretty Woman? So we had that on while we were having some food.
At a bar, you said, could you put Hulu on?
Yeah.
You requested a show at a bar on the television.
Yep.
Wow, that's a move.
I mean,
Usually they go, no.
it just doesn't hurt to ask. And so I asked, and
guess so.
they had it, so it worked out.
Hey, I'm trying to catch up on What We Do in the Shadows. Could you put
Well-
on season 2, episode 6?
But it wasn't like
The one with Jackie Daytona?
the bar wasn't that busy, and we didn't have the sound on. There was still music going on, so it's not like we were hijacking the bar to watch the movie. We just kind of had it on in the background.
Oh,
Since
no
we were-
sound.
Yeah, no sound. Oh, but still got to look at her, and that's what I
Sure.
wanted to do.
Yeah, I understand. I've got to take a break. If you want to text for something, 35192 to do that anywhere you are. You can listen on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show.